East Alta.
Chat, you guys are laughing, but Matt has Max Mosley's rep from repairing cars.
Right,
okay,
southbound Tower.
let's not pretend.
24 secondary crossing under Olympic. Watching westbound Innocence. And northbound Innocence towards Calais. Operate on the grass below La Porta here at Troy.
Sorry, northbound. Down to Innocence.
Back onto La Porta.
Continuing La Porta. Fuck my head. Northbound La Porta, proper lines lower. Transit, and no, he's taking the center line. Center line that exits to Palomino. Taking the exit to Del Perro. Del Perro West. Taking the North Rockford exit. Right, northbound, BCB, possibly going to the
I'm gonna go behind.
Left westbound Red Desert.
Likely gonna make
left,
a southbound.
I'm gonna say left southbound. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
left southbound.
He's still south or right westbound San Andreas. I'm gonna yield to you as soon as you're behind me.
Okay, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna fucking.
Oh, immediate right. I'm blocked. He went through the alley. I don't know which.
Southbound to North Rockford Drive. Southbound North Rockford towards Alameda BCB. All the way towards the scrapyard. Southbound South Rockford Drive.
Okay, we got it out of the gear. We're good.
I'm gonna send it straight eastbound.
Wait, where was he last seen?
Southbound South Rockford Drive towards London. Like the scrapyard, last seen towards Greenwich.
A firm.
Greenwich or,
He advised there was an almost identical Sultan out on the road as well. So that was probably him, but just keep in mind, let's just make sure we get plate confirmation before we like do anything crazy aside from pursue. I can't turn.
And yeah, I saw the other Sultan on the way to your Kaiser's chase.
A farm.
That car is just so fast.
And nimble. Now, where would he repair the core?
Dallas Customs at the end of Greenwich. Code 4.
Frank, be nimble. Frank, be quick.
Just been advanced repair kit on the ground.
Oh, that's a good one.
And it's like half good. Still got half the tools in it.
Harry,
Hello.
you have your helmet?
I can put it on.
I'm gonna need you. Backside of Mission Row. The brick parking structure to the south, actually.
Are you looking to take out some aggression growth? Is that what it is?
Negative. I'm driving a new core, and I just have to figure out, you know, its limits.
Okay, if you aren't being harmed in any way, just scream on the radio.
He will definitely harm me.
Wait, it's a black car that just drove past, like in a like it was racing kind of way. I don't know what or where it went.
Definitely too early for fixing.
I know, but hold up. Where the hell did it go? Oh well. Into the brick structure, please.
never mind. You're fine. It's a different person.
Perfect. No! Hold on, wait. I have another idea. Oh.
Oh my lord. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now just go up against the wall, and I'm gonna slightly. So I turned traction control off, so I should still have a bunch of wheel spin. We'll see how this goes. Okay, no wheel spin. One moment. Damn it. Damn it.
You're driving into me right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I fuck with that, actually. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let's get into a shoving match.
All right.
Okay, well, you know, I meant like same time, but this is fine. This is fine. This is gonna be how it happens in the streets. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
You left the arena. You cheated. You left the arena.
Sir, there ain't no arena here. Couldn't be me.
Joke.
Ooh. Oh.
This is the reversing speed. You mother trucker. God! Who's got the fucking kangaroo kicks now?
Oh my gosh.
Reverse only. I guarantee mine's better.
It sounds like you guys are smashing pretty hard in there. I can hear you from MRPZ.
Oh, we're smashing all right.
Hey, as of right now, we're throwing it back.
Yours is a lot more sturdy. Mine like flies. Mine gets
I
real
fuck
airborne
with
real
this.
easy. Ah, my car's out.
Damn, this thing is like... It's simultaneously nimble, but heavy.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell that to Maple, he'll be pissed.
What do you mean?
Apparently when you do jumps, it's like finicky or something.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'll take it off of the San Andreas thing, and if I nosedive, then it's not viable to do that. I need to go grab repair kits. I'll be back. I lied. There's repair kits in the glove box. And I've yoinked all 4. Yeah, you would hit me, and don't get me wrong, like it would move me, but I wasn't getting bullied in the way I normally would in a rear-wheel drive car.
Hello, Crystal.
Okay, fuck me, I guess.
Can I what? Yeah, sure. Can we keep smashing roads?
Huh?
Can we keep smashing?
I'm married.
Well, we were smashing just then.
No. I mean, were we?
Yeah.
All right, one more round. One more round.
All right, front. Whatever. Anything goes.
All right. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
You've got way more experience with this. Bitch.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I can tank that one real easy. I can take one from the side real easy, not from the front.
Okay. Assist back on. Ow! It is just kind of like throwing the car. Damn, this thing is somehow heavy. I don't get it. Oop. Oop. It doesn't make sense.
Fuck.
You good, dog? Oh no! I spoke too soon. No, no.
What the fuck?
Oh, I'm out. Ah!
I win.
I think we're tied. I think we're tied.
Balance, just as all things should be. Cards still in it.
Shit. You're lucky. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm the pet. The police.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Sometimes it laughs and love, and sometimes it hurts.
Girl, I fuck with you. You singing Adele. You a real one.
She's having a mental breakdown, Road. She needs
And
a
you know
therapist.
what? Sometimes you need to just jam out to Adele.
Sometimes it laughs and love, and sometimes
No, she mentally all there. She mentally all there. I fuck with you. What's your name?
my name's Kay. Oh, that's not my name. My name's B.
Your name's me?
B.
Me.
B's in the trap.
Oh, B.
Trap. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's going on? Why you going through a mental break?
Men,
This guy just like picked me up.
Man, girl, why you no. Hold up. Hold the You stay right. Actually, Horver, get them closer. Drive closer.
Sometimes it laughs and love.
Okay. Now roll the window down.
Oh.
Roll the window down.
Roll the window down.
Now let me ask you this: Why is you letting any man be able to control your feelings? How you let this happen? Failure number 1.
Why is this stuff the best advice I've gotten in my life? Like, the hell? I'm in the back of a police car.
Yeah, why is you back there?
Yeah, I don't know. This guy
She
picked
just.
me up.
What do you mean? I just picked you up.
Some
I
guy
drove you
beat me
back.
up, and he picked me up, and like,
Now, hold on. Let's continue the conversation aside from that.
I'm getting back in the car.
Which man did this?
You know what? Let me be honest.
Well, that means you're about to not be honest.
Well, I am going to be honest. He doesn't matter. I'm not going to state his name. He's a bitch.
Okay, well, the question is he still in your contacts on your phone?
No, I don't contact him. No, never.
Now, I didn't ask if you contacted it. Is he in your contact list?
He's in my contact list as a big ass baby ass bitch.
Okay, yeah, but his name gonna pop up every time he texts you.
Okay, but no, we don't talk to each other, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, but you gotta put the number in as blocked. Do not look. You read nothing from them.
Okay.
You pay them no attention. You pay them no mind. Okay, and what was their name again?
They don't have a name.
Exactly.
They don't
Exactly.
exist.
Exactly.
They actually don't fucking exist. Like, no.
That's exactly how it should be. You
Yeah,
pay.
exactly.
Not a single.
Can I get back in the car and start singing Adele again?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You do you.
You want to do it with me?
Oh, I sing in the shower and in the car by myself.
You.
That's about it.
I think these people, the police officers in the front, kind of regret picking me up.
I don't regret picking you up. You needed help.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, someone just threatened to mag dump someone. Okay. Gotta go. Stay
Yeah,
safe.
Yeah.
Swap back to 1 if you're still on 2. 290-10-8. Any actives?
None at this time.
Ooh, A firm pins. You're on duty?
Yeah, you know, CopCon was great. I'm still dying and sick, but it.
Girl, sound like everyone got the con flu. Hell no.
You should have been there.
To get sick? No, thank you.
I believe there was a 99 Alpha ongoing. Ray Phoenix last seen west on the Hawick.
Is the only street race a club of people want to go looking? Or it might be, I forget exactly which side.
Okay, pressing my... What up, Espinoz?
Hey man, sorry
up?
I'm chasing you down, but
No, you're good. What's up?
there's 2 things that I need to talk to you about. I was wondering
Okay.
if you had time to talk to me.
Yeah. Do you want to meet at Mission Row?
Mission Row, or you can pick me up for a few minutes and then
Sure.
talk and
Yeah.
drop me off.
Where you at?
I'll come out to Mission Row.
All right, I'm on the way. I'll come scoop you up. Oh, I've made a mistake. I'm fine. I'm on the way.
Alright.
See you soon. What is happening? Hop on in.
Hey Matt,
How's it going?
it's going.
What's up? What's happening?
Well, a couple things happened. Let me just put the seatbelt on and just put it on bed.
369 10 8.
All right, so I was patrolling on Saturday, and I get a call from Brian Knight, um, uh, telling me, basically yelling at me, saying that I leaked an investigation, and like how could I request the subpoenas that I did on the DOJ channels, that they're not secured, and that it's terrorists that we're talking about, and it's like, all right.
Hey, we've dealt with terrorists in the past. What? I'm confused. Like, what's the
So,
context here?
yeah, so basically, Brandy, I was doing an investigation, and she said
Uh-huh.
that she had a wiretap on a phone number, and she told me that she reached out to a command member, and she was requesting the phone records from this number from I think it was like from the 21st, 20 to the 25th, and
Yeah,
to
northbound
What's it
on
called?
and that it was already approved. Like it was just her getting the phone records from that number, and the DOJ knew. That's the information
Uh-huh.
that I had. And then I was like, okay, all right, a bit unorthodox, but sure, I'll relay that to the DOJ, and I used the high command, and then DOJ channel that we get the search warrants, where I basically requested that. Then I get a call from Knight, basically berating me about how could I request that subpoena like that? It's an enemy of the state, and that you leaked the fact that we have a wiretap on them, and we need to find out who did this, or like who instructed you to do this, because it's a foolish mistake, and basically telling me like that that I leaked the situation. That I leaked that we had a wiretap on them. So like I'm out here confused, because I'm using the command channel with the DOJ to, which should be secure, to request a subpoena that was approved already by Brandy. She just needed the phone records, um, and um, and I start trying to like doing the process of elimination. I was like, okay, my high command didn't reach out to me. Uh, PCSO high command didn't reach out to me. Uh, so the only person that would have seen that and would have called Brian Knight to talk about that situation was a member of the DOJ. So um, uh, I end up figuring out that it was Falconer that called Brian Knight and basically said that I did such a thing, that I leaked an investigation. But I'm out here perplexed, thinking like, how the hell am I leaking an investigation when I'm using this the DOJ and command channel should be secure to request
Right.
records, right? Because like, what? Why are we using like? And this is my main argument when it
Well,
comes to
hold
Falconer.
on, wait. Let me ask you this: whatever subpoena was being processed, was it on the MDT?
It was not.
Hmm. Eh. Were you aware it wasn't on the MDT? Or were you
I,
solely reaching out for like an update from judges regarding it?
I was just requesting the records. I didn't mention who it was about. I just mentioned the phone number and the dates of it.
And you're saying Falconer reached out to Knight. Knight then rated you, stating that you were leaking information despite there being no prior directive to not discuss this situation.
Correct. And my whole concern, my whole point of concern is because I'm being accused of that, and I'm just like, um, how is it leak an investigation when all our subpoenas and search warrants of the city go through that channel, and so is everybody that's requesting a subpoena or a search warrant technically leaking because we're using that channel? It makes no sense that we're using that channel, even if they're saying that channel, because of the archivist, it's like it's not safe. So like I'm I was just confused by that.
Espinosa, these
I
people
got-
edited the Constitution. From my understanding, as far as I'm concerned, considering judges didn't want to change the jurisdictional map that was outdated because it was uploaded on a thing that no longer existed for over 2 months, and someone can just go and all willy-nilly change and edit the Constitution. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's an issue, but like, either one of two things needs to happen. Something regarding access in the MDT gets entirely redone to force whoever has access out, or literally everything we do ends up being on paper. There's no in between. We either continue as normal, which sucks because someone likely has access, does have access, whatever, or we go back to everything being on paper. It's kind of like the lesser of two evils. It's not ideal, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like so like if we're going by the logic of them having that channel compromised, then we should be going through pen and paper, right? Like that. I mean, that's just the logic that comes from me from that situation, or like from being talked about then.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. But like, I'm confused. Like, under what circumstances would they assume this to be done with like malice?
I'm not sure because leaking has a connotation of being done with malice. So
Well, maybe not necessarily. I guess it depends on who's in charge, because let's not forget, Jimmy got frosted.
True, it did get frosted. But is it bad of me to assume that like our command and DOJ channel for search warrants is secure? Like
No, not at all.
In that moment, I was like, okay, I'm sure that. I mean, it never crossed my mind, like when I requested it.
I mean, it's normal, like, general procedure.
So we did get into a big argument, Falconer and I. But I did say to go off the handle, so I maybe gotta go off the handle a bit on that argument with Falconer. And then I was explaining, I was like, okay, and then he basically told me, well, Espinos, why don't you make a system that is secure? I'm like, what? What do you want me? What do you mean you want me to make a system that's secure for the subpoenas and the search warrants? Because I'm pointing the fact that like that channel is just compromised for everything, and they basically were deflecting of it in that situation.
I mean, what's the alternative there?
I don't know. And I was confused. I wasn't even mad about Brian Knight, right? Reaching out to me. I was upset the fact that Falconer reached out to Brian Knight to complain and didn't call me to try to assess the situation, fix the situation, get me to remove that from the channel in a timely manner. But he decided to run around and just basically just, I don't know, like just leave it there while he was just informing Brian Knight about it.
Well, the question then becomes, like, when he called Brian to complain if this did happen, did he communicate this over the phone? And if so, like, are we going to claim that they were leaking on the basis that people could have been listening into their conversation? And when I say people, I mean literally anybody.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Did
like,
Brian accuse you of any of this over the phone?
Yeah, he'd give me the whole conversation was on the phone.
You see how hypocritical that is?
It is. I felt like I was like I can't win like in this argument.
Like, to be clear, I'm not saying Brian has bad intent, right? But like, you can't have this unrealistic expectation of privacy and like, oh, things have been leaked. And I already know from his playbook he's going to claim, well, it had already been leaked, so it doesn't matter at that point or whatever. But like, if we're dealing with a single group who has access, it's not as bad as everyone else obtaining said level of access or knowledge that this is even going on, right? So like, again, the knowledge of anyone being able to listen into conversations, it's like we can't have conversations about anything ever, under
Go back to
any
analog?
circumstances.
Like, I don't know.
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, if people want to start dating, they need to write on a little piece of paper, would you like to go out on a date? Yes, no, and put a little checkbox. Hand it to them. It's the only secure way. Like, I mean, based on what you're saying, it doesn't sound like you realistically did anything wrong. Like, was there any directive from anyone regarding situations like this, regarding reaching out via any specific channel of communication? Because if the answer is no, then what are we supposed to do when that's the norm?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, well, you could have called Daisy about it." I'm like, and I talked to this, like, what? She was like, "What the fuck do I know?" Like, she didn't know either. Like,
I as someone with general knowledge of what's going on with that, would not have treated it any differently regarding reaching out specifically for the results of a subpoena. The only way that wouldn't have happened, I mean, truthfully, I would probably reach out with the expectation of like, well, number one, I'd check if a judge was around. I would then inquire about like meeting with them in person, sure, but like if we don't have judges available, I would definitely reach out as we normally do, asking if the results are available. And obviously they're going to need clarification as to what. But even if you referenced well, you couldn't reference a subpoena thing because it wasn't in the MDT, so I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't reference anything. Like, and so I was told, I was basically, like I said, the only information that Brandy gave me was, this was already signed. The judges know. Can you just request the dates for this number? And I didn't reference the archivist. I literally just say, judges, I need Brandy Lynn is requesting the subpoena for this date to this date of this number. That's it.
Do you want to know the really fucked up part about all of this?
Yeah.
When all of this either gets concluded or solved or whatever, things are going to get called into question as to who did what, and there's going to be so many lack of sort of paper trail scenarios or potential finger pointing if things go wrong as to who did what, and there's not going to be a fucking record of any of it because it's all going to be he said, she said situations. Think about this. If it's not on the MDT, how's it being documented that these things are being signed for? How is anyone else going to know?
You won't.
We have to provide these records and receipts for stuff. How are we going to do that? Like, sure, you can request, you know, like delayed notice, but that only lasts so long. Like, I don't know. It seems like an unrealistic expectation because, again, I, as someone who has knowledge, would have assumed those channels of communication to have been secure. And if they're not, then we clearly need to work on getting it secure. And if we can't, then it either shouldn't be used in its entirety or, well, I mean, one of three things. It shouldn't be used in its entirety. We continue as is, knowing full well that someone has knowledge. Or like, we resort to a fucking paper trail. I don't know. Like, everything on paper. And that doesn't seem very practical.
It really isn't. And with the amount of like officers that we have now, investigations that are going, like it's going to be a mess to keep things track. And like obviously for oversight to make sure that things are going properly, like the oversight's going to be a mess if you go analog again.
Yeah, 1000%. Well, I don't know what the solution to that is. So what was the conclusion? Like,
The conclusion was that Pret was going to talk to Brian Knight. But told me that he had my back. I told him that I really didn't think I did anything wrong Falcon and I ended on, like, our conversation ended on pretty bad terms because he continued basically accusing me in my face that I was leaking things, and I leaked like a state level investigation. So I didn't take that well. Um, um, I basically took my ground. I shouldn't have. I'll be honest. When he was accusing me of stuff in my face, I could have handled it better. But like, I mean, I did fight back. You know, like on that, like, and I went a little pred on him.
Well, then I think you should reach out to Falconer. Not discuss anything over the phone, but specifically saying that you'd like to speak and apologize, you know, in the moment, especially with how everything was being framed. You know, your integrity was essentially called into question, and apologize for how sort of, you know, hot-headed you got. Because let's be honest, regardless of this situation, Falconer is probably one of the most competent, best judges that we have. Like, straight up, that's the reality. There's a handful of them, and he's most certainly one of them. Yeah. So, being on bad terms with Falconer, not that I ever think he would hold it against someone, but being on bad terms with Falconer, no bueno. Definitely not ideal. But additionally, I think you can sort of rehash, I don't want to say the same conversation, but essentially state that, like, you understand at the end of the day, like, it was never your intent. You never had malicious intent. You just didn't know. Like, it truly was ignorance, and not ignorance on the basis of you not doing your due diligence. You can't sit there and comb through every fucking scenario when realistically, if this person, let's be honest, the only true means of us informing the entirety of the PD of what's going on is a PD announcement. And if someone has access via the MDT, guess what? They're going to have a PD fucking announcement. So it's unfortunately a bad situation. And it wasn't ideal. It was never your intent, but like, you realistically couldn't have known. That's literally what it comes down to. And obviously we can't change that. Like, again, what are we going to do? Whisper in everyone's fucking ear, hey, if you have anything to do with this, under no circumstances do you do anything via paper trail? That's not realistic. We can't inform hundreds of people that something can't happen a certain way, or even if we limit it to just Command Plus, it's still problematic.
It's an issue. Yeah, but I'll reach out to Faulkner about it.
I wouldn't reach out personally to Brian, because Brian will try to spin it a certain way, and that's going to be no bueno. The reality is, like, this is going to fall on, like, IT, essentially. Either we can lock down the MDT sufficient enough to where we can have secure access, or we can't. There's no in between. Yeah. There literally is no in between.
If there's like a suspicion or concern that one of our communication avenues is leaked, then like IT needs to get on it, you know?
Then everything shuts down. Everything shuts down, and everything is combed through until that's resolved. Because the alternative is what? Everyone else's investigations being leaked? Are we simultaneously right now saying, like, we're content with everybody's investigations being leaked?
No. That'd be horrendous.
Exactly. But we're going under the... Don't get me wrong. The importance of this investigation is massive. But you can't... I mean, yes, you can assign a priority to each thing, and that one probably takes the very top. But if the not the information, but if the problem is information being leaked, everything is on the table. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah, I wanted to inform you about it. That was the first part. The second part is that I feel like this might be just like in my head, or just I just need to clear my head. But I feel like sometimes I just don't belong.
What do you mean?
Well, like a lot of people are getting promoted that like are not in the style or where I police, and like I think a mix is very, very good and important. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, like I mean, Bobby got promoted, and we have a lot of people that have the South policing that Bobby does that are now in command. So like, I don't know if I I don't know if
Listen, Bobby's an idiot. Okay? Let's not pretend that these people aren't shields to make Pred look better. So that when Pred fucks up, he can be like, yeah, well, Bobby did this, Carmine did this, Jeb did this. So that when he does something, it's not as big. Listen, I'm going to sit there and support any decision that Pred makes, right? Regarding command, high command. He's very much so going for a specific kind of person. But that doesn't mean that you don't belong. There does need to be a mix of people, right? And sometimes the environment that we live in is more accommodating for, you know, sort of less strict things, right? It is what it is. But we can always have a difference of opinion, right? Like we spoke about the Victor situation, and we all had a difference of opinion regarding that. And we agreed on some things, we disagreed on others. It is what it is, right? That's to be expected. The conversation in those things is what's expected. When it comes to like current day command, I would say expectations aren't the same as what they used to be on paper. Because yes, if you do look at more recent command hires, things are different. Like 100% they're different. Number one, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to change. However, the environment within PD has very clearly changed. In saying that, I would say, I'm not going to say we're less strict. That's not the like phrase I'm looking for. But like, you know, we have to sort of make concessions regarding the stuff that we do. Like, yes, we have to uphold a very specific standard regarding our policing, but like straying from that isn't the biggest deal in the world, especially when done in moderation and depending on the situation, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I was one of those cops back in the day where, you know, if someone was to be sentenced for 200 months and our SOPs indicated up to 20% off, they were to get no more than 20% off. And yeah, it bothered me when other people did go above that because then it made me look bad. So yes, in those situations, I did end up making concessions. I did end up following suit, and while not ideal, then eventually it was a bigger PD issue, and I know that sounds backwards to contribute to the larger issue, but it then became a consistent, like, you are absolutely not allowed to do this because everyone was doing it. It became the norm. It wasn't an exception. It was the norm. And then everyone was sort of back in line with each other and doing as they were supposed to. It's kind of like, I think the best way to describe it is historically the PD has always slipped in the sense that we start off with this high expectation. We lose a lot of people, not because they can't fall in line with that expectation, more so that despite our expectations on the opposing side are not met in the same manner, and then people realize that in order to do much at all, they sort of have to lower that standard and like stoop to people's level, right? Like that's always happened. And then unfortunately, when this is looked at in like a broader scale, what ends up happening is people always resort to, well, PD are the professionals and therefore they're expected to do X, Y, and Z. And don't get me wrong, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But we also have to adapt to our environment.
Of course.
And so I guess the long story short here is, again, I don't necessarily think you need to change. But if you do feel that you are sort of too harsh, then there's nothing stopping you from lightening up, Espinos. Like, and that's, I don't mean that as in like, if one person complains about any aspect of you, you need to change. But if you think you are being too harsh, there's an easy solution to that, right? Like, you're a member of command.
Yeah.
You're trusted with making these decisions. Just do it. And it doesn't have to be an everyday thing. Listen, you can get two versions of me. You can get the complete hard ass or the incredibly lenient roads. And it's entirely dependent on how you treat me. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll go above and beyond the 25%. Hell, I've even done what people in the past used to. Remember when it would be like, oh, well, I requested an attorney, one's not available. Well, number one, if you are genuinely requesting an attorney, I'm still going to honor the fact that you wanted one, but you know damn well in Shift 3 the likelihood of getting one is borderline impossible. But I don't want that to be the reason it's held against someone, you know? Now, in saying that, were you treating me like absolute shit in the entire situation? Were you talking over me consistently, not giving me an opportunity to speak during it? Am I going to be nearly as lenient? No. But like, again, it's all about making concessions. It's all about, you know, looking at the situation and like, you know, this is technically in my control, technically not, but like, what's the person going to complain about? Like, seriously, if you gave someone more than 25% off, which is all we're authorized to do plus time served, if you do that, who's going to complain? What damages were suffered? Seriously, what damages were suffered? Are they going to sue you for giving you more time off? No. Now, you could technically be ACR'd and told to do better moving forward, but it's not like straight up, people don't follow that legislation at all. You're supposed to write down the exact time served, blah, blah, blah. No one does that. No one writes down original charges and what it was pled down to. It doesn't happen, but that's the norm. That is the norm. Technically, it is the norm. It's not technically correct, but that literally is what it is. So, you know, you look at each situation, and I would say, be willing to work with people who are willing to provide information. Like, let them burn you once before you burn them, in the sense of like not giving them leniency. For example, you know, someone claims that they've got something, right? If I look at their record and they have very few priors, there's nothing indicating any kind of deal in the past, right? Let's say it's drug related, and they're willing to give you info on who or where, or set something up, straight up, I'd probably let that person walk. But if I find out that the information they gave me was BS, you bet your ass a warrant is going out for their arrest. And I'm going to be... No, I was going to say something, but now I'll say the quiet part out loud. I'd not only put a warrant out for their arrest, I would make sure in that warrant, all of the situation regarding them being released beforehand was written, the agreement that I'd put it all there on paper. So if anyone FOIA'd that report, it'd be available. If people want to burn themselves by lying to us, by all means, go ahead. It's sort of one and done. You get one opportunity. That's it.
Yeah. I've been working on it, and like I think I've not that I've changed, but I've adapted. But it just feels sometimes, and it's like, am I doing it right? Like, am I like, I don't know. Like, am I...
I mean, every decision we make is a judgment call at the end of the day, right? Like, in your evaluation of situations, like, if you need to be sort of more cautious, then be more cautious. It is what it is. Like, just have justification for it, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
oftentimes people will complain that we didn't shoot someone quick enough in like large scale situations, but you don't have the context that every other officer does. So while you may be primary, you don't have an all-seeing eye to know exactly what the fuck's going on. So you making that decision is not practical. Even if someone else has that information. An individual, the red shirt needs to be shot. I'm sorry, but if we're at Legion Square, red shirt isn't enough for me unless I just saw them shooting already, if I wasn't originally on scene. That's too vague. That could be anybody. That could be another officer off duty running for their life.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to not be you know, cautious in situations like those. And again, that can literally apply to anything. Don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of us, myself included, that have a sort of, I don't necessarily want to say a no fucks given mentality, because while I do, I certainly take into account, you know, the overall, like, you know, calls that we're responding to. And it's unfortunate for shift 3 because like breaking off of calls just it sounds like the perfect solution for a lot of things, but it's simultaneously like shooting ourselves in the foot. We can go hours without a single call, a single pursuit, a single anything, and people are itching to do just about anything, right? But like, you know, if we're on swap number 5, number 6, whatever, is that an appropriate call to make? Sure. But like, I don't want to pull that away from the people who want to continue pursuing in those situations, you know? Like, we don't run into groups like Sin very often where it's not going to be swap, or Sultan, Progress, Sultan, current day Dominator, Tulip. Like, it's not often we get them. They're rare. They're very rare. I mean, hell, Ricky was telling me that the guy had pulled over earlier today who had a suspended license and was driving, but was very compliant, very respectful, admitted to having points, you know, and it'd be a misdemeanor for him to drive. I'm not going to sit there and arrest the guy if he's willing to comply and leave the car behind. And I trust and believe that that car is probably still there or someone else has driven it away. I genuinely don't think he's going to drive it. In saying that, 99% of other people would have immediately either driven off or, truthfully, not even given me the opportunity to speak to them. So, again, it comes down to those, like, you know, you work with me, I work with you type situations. Now, do I go hard on people who are going to continuously do the 5, 6, 7 fucking swap? Sultan. I haven't seen progresses all that recently, but, you know, pretty much utilizing cars like that frequently. Absolutely. Why do you think I'm in this fucking Coquette? Don't get me wrong. I want to go back in the Scout because I love nothing more than an all-wheel drive car, but holy fuck, I think I could get hit in this and move less than the fucking Scout. Yeah, it's, at the end of the day, no call is going to be perfect. I think everyone needs to come to that realization because every call we make is a judgment call. Like there's no, you can't, there's no environment where every call we're going to make is right. There's a reason qualified immunity exists, right? And it's because the expectation is we're operating in good faith, right? There's a reason why fruit of the poisonous tree exists, and it's to punish people who are operating in bad faith. There's a reason why typically, it's not written in legislation here, but typically there's even exceptions to that where regardless of whether or not you're operating in good faith, but like the whole like good faith exception that exists in other places in the world. Because as long as you're operating under good faith, the expectation is that, you know, there shouldn't be a punishment, right? Just like when you shoot a fleeing felon. Like, you had a good faith belief. When you have a good faith belief, it proves that you didn't have malice.
Yeah.
Or the other sort of general concept of like inevitable discovery, which also isn't something written and I would love to see go to court, but the concept of that being, even if it was fruit of the poisonous tree, if it was inevitably going to be discovered through other means, like already in being processed, then that would be admissible. Why? Because again, typically you'd be operating in good faith in those scenarios. Alternatively, if the intent is to punish officers acting in bad faith by removing stuff like stuff obtained illegally, right? How do you do that to something that was going to be obtained no matter what? So it sort of like nullifies bad intent. As fucked up as that sounds, it was literally because no matter what, it was going to be found. So therefore, regardless of what occurred, like it doesn't get just thrown away. Like, but again, none of these exist in legislation, but they're legal concepts that exist elsewhere and they make sense. Like, not only that, you know what I realized? Pull up the search and seizure legislation. There's something interesting that I read the last time I looked at this, which was looking for the word lawful. Special requests. Right here. Section F, search warrant signing and execution. Search warrants must be submitted to a judge or justice and must bear the signature of a ranking member of the law enforcement command structure, as well as a signature from the officer that wrote the warrant. These two signatures must not be the same name. Number 2, searches conducted under the search warrant approved by a duly authorized judge or justice shall be considered lawful. Warrants that contain contractual errors that amount to a factual error grave enough to render the search warrant void can be challenged without need for a full contest. This can be assessed summarily on the docket due to the facts at hand by justice. While these may not amount to criminal negligence, they may still render the signing parties open to civil liability. Parties acting on behalf of signed warrant are still protected when acting in good faith. So again, another good faith exception here. That's literally all that matters in the eyes of the law, is good faith. As long as you aren't acting like an absolute fucking idiot, that's realistically what they're looking for in an overwhelming majority of situations. Even, again, our immunity portion. But the thing that I find interesting is the whole, it shall be considered lawful. Because with that writing in legislation, it leads me to believe that if something was deemed lawful, right, and then appealed, let's say we raid someone, for whatever reason, they appeal, and a judge goes, you know what, there's a bit of an issue here, and I'm going to deem this no longer valid, right? You would logically believe that all of that evidence is now fruit of the poisonous tree and no longer able to be a thing, right? There's the good faith exception, and that if officers executed that warrant and believed it to have been valid at the time, which that literally states it is lawful and therefore valid, like, stuff found would still be admissible unless, big unless, the parties involved were operating in bad faith. As in the person who wrote the warrant, regardless of the officers executing the warrant, the person who wrote the warrant, if they did so in bad faith, if they stretched the truth, they didn't say the whole truth, they lied about shit, 100% that shit should be thrown. That's the punishment of bad police work.
Yeah. Okay.
But if that's not the case, then realistically it should be admissible.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you ever want, you know, feedback in any situation, do what you did today. Call me. I mean, if I'm in the middle of something, obviously I can't answer, but like, straight up call me. Ask for my stance on things. I'll give it to you. I know. If anyone calls me asking about shit, I'll you know, pick up and let them know what I would do.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I wouldn't beat yourself up too much, Espinos, because the first thing we discussed sounds like something out of your control and realistically is not practical to deal with at a large scale when the solution is entirely out of your hands. And then the